So recently, I have been staying over at my boyfriend's place more. We have divided up some chores, but one he likes to do is cook. He really is a wonderful chef, and all our friends enjoy the dishes he brings to parties. Whereas I will admit I don't know my way around the kitchen and I have never taken the time to really dive into it. This is fine since he cooks, but his meals usually include so much heat. He cooks with a lot of spices, sauces, and peppers. I have asked him time and time again to tone it down so I can handle the heat, or at least add those last so he can still have them, but my dish will be fine. He said this will ruin the dishes and they wouldn't come out as flavorful and be really lackluster. And that added the spice at the end ruins the whole balance of it. I finally snapped the other night and yelled to him to stop making hot dishes I can eat, and he told me that I was always welcome to cook my own meals if I wanted. I don't see why I have to cook if he already is making the meal. He can just add less spice to it. That will add so much more time to my night when he's already handling that chore. So guys, am I wrong for yelling at him after him adding spice too many times to dishes? I have 3 daughters, Phoebe, 18, Ellie, 19, and Jenny, 15. We also have a 2-year-old Chihuahua Wiener dog mix. His name is Pablo. We were in the middle of the heat wave 2 weeks ago with temperatures hitting 10.7. Small dogs are more sensitive to heat, so we don't let him go to the backyard for long periods of the time. And the deck is off limits because there is no shade on the deck. The problem is Peeble loves the deck because he can watch the cars, people walking on the trail behind our house, and he can see our neighbors' chickens. Janie doesn't have first period and doesn't leave for school until 10 a few days a week. Both Ellie and Phoebe leave between 9 and 10, so it's Janie's responsibility to make sure Peeble is inside, the fans are on, and he has water. 2 weeks ago, in the worst of the heat wave, Peeble was crying at the deck door. Jenny got annoyed and let him go on the deck. Then she left for school and forgot him on the deck. Ellie came home a few hours later and started looking for Peeble. She found him passed out on the deck and called me sobbing. I left work early, took him to the emergency vet. They treated him for heat stroke. He had to stay at the vet for a few days, and Ellie was inconsolable while he was gone. She was constantly crying. She wouldn't eat or leave the room, and she had a panic attack every time the phone rang because she was terrified that it was the vet telling us that Peeble was gone. People made a full recovery, but now we have an expensive vet bill, and Ellie still has extreme anxiety around losing Peeble. Jenny is upset because Ellie hasn't spoken to her since she forgot Peeble on the deck, and Phoebe rarely speaks to her and doesn't hang out with her anymore. Jenny was upset about Peeble when he was in the vet. Now she's very nonchalant about what happened because he's fine. My husband and I have been talking about what to do with Jane. We decided on making her get a job to pay for Peeble's vet expenses, close to $2,000 after insurance. Jane is very upset about it because she has to cancel swim team to get a job and says that we're ruining her life over a mistake. Now I'm starting to wonder, am I the worst mother ever for making this decision? Also, she can get a job after swim season because soccer season starts right after swim. Then after soccer season, she has softball season, then summer training camps. What do you think about it? I'm a doctor. A part of my job entails being on call for 1 to 3 nights a week, twice a month. My fiancé Dale has been saving with my stepson's mom to buy him a car for Christmas. My stepson Rex has a license already, but always has to borrow his mom's station wagon on his dad's beat up pickup truck. His mom's car is lame and embarrassing, and his dad's can only hold one passenger, not particular for a teen. On the main conflict, Rex texted me yesterday about 12 if he could borrow my car after school. His friends wanted to go to the mall, but the bus road is too long. Could he borrow my car? I texted back a sorry, but no, I'm on the call again. Can you ask your mom? He says no. I told him sorry, but my answer is still no. I'm sure you will find another way. Ask your friends and you can all figure it out. If you see where this is going, you're less shocked than I am. I was up in my home office, the room where I keep my switch, sewing machine, laptop, not an official office. When I heard Rex and his friends downstairs after school, I was going to see if they needed anything, but they left after a few minutes. An hour later, I went to the kitchen, cleaning up the empty bottles and wrappers from their snacks. I saw the spot where I left my keys empty, and I began to panic. First, I bolted to the door. My car was gone. Immediately dealed my stepson. He pickups. Car was gone. Immediately dealed my stepson. He picks up, and it's obvious he's in a mall store that plays loud music. I told him to get his ass home now, and he laughed and said that I'm not his mom. He'll be home whenever he pleases. I'm not proud, but I told him that he has 20 minutes to get home or I can call the police and report it stolen. Rex panics and said that he couldn't find all his friends and drive home in 20 minutes. 10 minutes later, I get a text that he's in the mall parking lot and will be home soon. I phoned Rex's mom and informed her of his stunt. She was madder than me when I told her that I was on call. She apologized and promised to talk with Rex and Dale as soon as possible. Rex came in, threw my keys, locked himself in his room. Dale finally came home around 8 and said he had been on the phone with his ex. He demanded to know why I punished his son. I put my foot down and explained I'm on a call. That means I need my car. Rex stole my car. Dale disagrees. His ex agrees with me and decided she will not be buying Rex a car anytime soon due to his entitlement. Dale thinks that I'm making a big deal out of nothing. I didn't end up going into work, so why did I have to threaten Rex? I have only gone it twice this year while on call. Just because nothing happened doesn't mean that I'm always clear. Rex is now grounded. Fiancé barely speaks to me. Asks me when I'm going in today. I'm not. And if I will apologize. I'm not budging and I'm still pissed that he doesn't get it. So guys, am I wrong with that? Me and Annie have been best friends since junior high. We had different social circles, and though we tried and include each other, Annie was a part of the popular crowd and has kept these same friends till today. I grew up severely overweight. I was heavy all through high school and college. I was lucky enough to have Annie as my friend, so I was always included in things. I was always the tag along, and his friends mostly acted like I wasn't there. I'm still around her friends on a regular basis now. About 6 months ago, I made a lifestyle change. I was tired of being fat and getting turned down because of it. I have now lost about 75 pounds and feel incredible. Annie has been my biggest supporter and was my gym buddy. I haven't seen her friends since January because I was in gym mode. But Annie decided to host a party at her new place. I was invited, but I didn't want to go. I explained it to her how I didn't want to have a connection with people that knew me when I was fat. I wanted a clean slate, but she insisted. So I did come. So I posted the gym selfie, totally unlike me, and one of any friends, Claire, slid into my DMS and said, "Wow, you look so different. Congrats. How did you do it?" I explained a few of my tips and then she asked for my Snapchat. I just sent the lol emoji to her and never responded again. I show up to Annie's. All of a sudden, I felt like the new kid in school. All her friends who previously never acknowledged me wanted to walk. It pissed me off. One said, "Oh, P, I had no idea you know so much about cooking." I said, "You will have if you took the time to get to know me the last decade," and walked off to meet Annie. As I'm talking to Annie, the friends that direct messaging me walking up, she said how great I look and asked why I never gave her my Snapchat. I said because I don't deal with shallow people, and she knew me for a decade and didn't want my snap. So that's why I love it. She excused herself and Annie followed her. I waited outside and Annie came back furious, saying she told to her friends and they all felt embarrassed. I say they should be because they're shallow. Annie got all offended and saying I'm being a dump. I said she's far too good of a person to have this type of friends and she should be embarrassed too. She asked what I meant. I said she has shallow friends who treated her best friend like a ghost for a decade. But now I'm supposed to give them my attention? That she's bad friends to me to have keep these friends. She started crying and said something about how I used to have the best personality, but now I'm a dump. I said, maybe I am, but better than being part of a shallow friends group. And then I left the party. Annie's sister, who I'm close with, called me today, saying that Annie is upset and felt like she lost her best friend. But that I said some dumb stuff and needed to apologize. So, what do you guys think about it? Please write in the comments below. I'm a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, 8 and 10. Their dad is the sole income earner in the house. He is responsible for bills and groceries, and recently he's been tightening the grip on expenses and will get mad over little things I do. Like do laundry twice a week because the kids, or use more cleaning products than I usually do. Yesterday I was making breakfast for him and the kids, and used 4 eggs to make scrambled eggs. He came to the table and found out that I had used 4 and started lashing out at me, calling me irresponsible for not using 2 eggs instead. I called him unreasonable because 2 eggs, when it was the 4 of us, the kids wouldn't get enough. He yelled saying that I should keep in mind that he is the one who expected to pay for all of that, and we'll have to worry if we run out of groceries. I got upset and lost my appetite. I told him he could have the whole thing, but he called me childish and immature for sulking when he was just being honest and straightforward with me. I ended up having just coffee for breakfast, and he left for work without speaking to me. I'm wrong for using 4 eggs instead of 2, so the whole family could eat.